The internet hates me today. I recorded a live on Instagram, it wouldn't upload, it wouldn't save. I just did a video here and it cut out, now I'm starting again. But I trust that it's all divine, so fingers crossed, third time lucky. So what I wanted to touch on today was the importance of women cultivating a healthy inner masculine, particularly when it comes to relating to the masculine in our lives. And when we don't have a healthy inner masculine, it can be really problematic for our relationships. It tends to be a breeding ground for feelings of abandonment, rejection, codependency, unworthiness. And I see this all the time. I've seen this in myself, in my own previous relationships. And what would happen is, as soon as I developed feelings for a guy, as soon as I had a lot of emotions in the relationship, I would reject my inner masculine. And so my feminine would be abandoned and deserted. I would be so overwhelmed with insecurity and emotion that my nervous system would be on overdrive. And my masculine was nowhere to be seen. My discernment, my integrity, and my boundaries were non-existent. And just to clarify, those are typically masculine traits. And I would be unable to draw the line and disengage from destructive relationships because of this lack of boundaries, discernment, integrity, honouring my values and my desires and my needs. And I would show up as needy and insecure, and I would put my safety in the hands of the men around me. I would outsource my safety, my worthiness, and my power to the masculine in my life. So if we're only engaged in our feminine, we're all feelings, vulnerability, and receptivity, which is beautiful, in balance. But when it's in its wounding, when it comes from an imbalance, it can be very detrimental. Without a healthy inner masculine, there's no objectivity or structure to our emotions, and we can get very lost in ourselves. How can our feminine feel safe to be seen in her juicy, receptive softness if she has no inner masculine protecting her heart and holding her? She's going to look to whoever's outside of her to do that if she's abandoned her feminine because she's rejected her own inner masculine. The masculine is our point of directness and balance. Without that intact, we're at the mercy of our emotional states. We can become overwhelmed. We become attached to stories of unworthiness and rejection, and it's hard to see a way out of these fears if we have no sense of objectivity or truth. And if we're so attached to our feelings and our emotions, then we're not actually available to seeing objectivity and truth. And we lack the discernment to make choices and set boundaries which serve us, particularly in relationships. And this shows up as settling for less, not asserting our needs, accepting mistreatment, and people-pleasing. And our emotions in the relationship can hinder our sense of reason. So if we can't bring our emotions back to center, we can lose sight of what's real and true. We become impressionable, naive, and hooked into our fantasies of the relationship and this guy. So we end up putting up with shit and settling and staying unfulfilled. We shrink. We give away our power. And this internal weak masculine shows up as polarizing with men who feel unavailable, avoidant, inconsistent. Men who are in their immature masculine. And that's also because that's what we're available to emotionally. Because we're fearing vulnerability and intimacy. But that's for another life. If you're in a masculine is weak and immature, he's not in his integrity, he's not able to honor his values, he's not able to show up for himself and draw the line when it needs to be drawn, you will abandon yourself for the men outside of you because he's not here within, he's not holding you. And this projection will create a hologram outside of you where you then create relationships where you feel rejected and abandoned by men. But actually, you abandoned yourself. You outsourced your power and your safety to him outside of you. You let go of your own sense of reason and truth so you could give in to your feminine neediness, which leaves you overly sensitive and willing to settle with shit that doesn't feel good because you're consumed by the attachment and your emotions. And so that voice of what your needs are and your values and your desires is silent. Your sense of power and self-control and discipline is non-existent. And we have the tools to resolve and harmonize our own inner masculine and feminine so that when these dynamics are playing out, we can actually go within and sort it out without creating a problem outside of us, without using other people to cushion our insecurities. And where we're lacking, we can actually resolve it within. And this is something that I'm going to be teaching in Love Like a Queen, which is my 2-month mastermind, which starts in 4 days. I'm so excited. It's going to be potent and magical and beautiful. All the things. The transformation and healing that I'm offering in this course, that I'm calling in for the women who are joining, who have joined, is deep, immense. It's just going to be unreal. This course is for women who are ready to heal and clear these abandonment and rejection wounds. Women who are ready to attract soul-aligned, healthy relationships which feel nourishing, mutual and intimate. Women who want to show up in their relationships from a place of sovereignty and self-love. Women who want to harness their innate feminine magnetism so they can receive more from the masculine. We're going to be delving into masculine and feminine archetypes, the core abandonment wound, self-love, boundaries, all the important juicy things and components which are so important for ourselves and for our relationships. If you're feeling that this might be for you, please reach out, send me a message. We can have a chat, see if it's a fit. We start on the 11th of April. I'll put the link in the comments to the booking page. Yeah, I would love to have you if you really feel that this is what you need right now. Yeah, so please don't hesitate to reach out and get in touch. Lots of love. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah.